Hello, welcome to StickShiftStudios. Today I will be doing the 10 things that I love about my beloved 2004 Rio Yellow Pearl Honda S2000. Number 1, I love how well the engine revs. It's very free revving, and you don't need to give the engine very much gas for the engine to increase in RPM, so it makes it very fun on the canyon back roads. It makes the throttle response for the Corvette seem like there's much to be desired. Number 2 is the 8,000 RPM Redline. It is glorious. The power delivery once you get to 6,000 RPMs and above is just pure heaven. It's amazing. It's super addicting, and I love it. Number 3 of the things that I love is the S2000 shifter. It has the world's best shifter in my opinion. The shifts are incredibly smooth, they're incredibly crisp, and they're precise, and the shift movement is incredibly short, and it feels like a precision bolt action rifle when you're shifting through the gears. It really is amazing. Number 4, I love the minimalist interior, how there's very driver focused. There's nothing you don't need. And I love that the radio is hidden. I don't like seeing all the buttons on the radio just sprawled all out for you to see all the time. So it's very nice to hide it. Everything's very clean, and it kind of, has that very sporting look to it, which is very nice. And the cockpit itself is very small, so the dash kind of wraps around you. It's very cool. I like having the radio controls on the opposite side of the steering wheel, as well as the heating and ventilation. It's very nice. Number 5, and this is big, is how well all the components of the car work together in harmony. The engine, the shifter, the 3 pedals, the weight of the 3 pedals and the shifter, and the way the steering feels, everything. It all works in harmony, like it was all meant to work together. I've driven some cars where it's like, the clutch is too heavy, but everything else feels fine. So this feels amazing that everything is just perfect, perfectly weighted, and, honestly, this is a car that I could drive all day. I mean, I could drive this car for hours and hours. It's just that fun to drive around. Number 6 on my list of things that I love about my Honda S2000 is the Honda S2000 from 2000 to 2005 has a cable shifter, which is the old school throttle cables that actually has a cable going directly to the engine. And what that means is you can precisely meter out exactly how much power you want to give with the throttle pedal, and it just feels amazing. The drive-by-wire of today just feels like an on-off switch and feels horrible. Number 7. Now this one probably doesn't really need to be said, but I'm going to say it anyways. The Honda S2000 is a spectacular car, and it handles amazing. Handles like it's on rails, and I think there's very few cars that handle better for the money. It handles so well. It's telepathic in its steering. It's razor sharp, and the grip if you have good tires, if your grip is good, you can go around corners way faster than you should be able to, and it makes it a lot of fun. I will say that the RX-7 that I recently tested does have better steering, and the steering on the RX-7 feels way better. It's heavier, it's better weighted, feels more natural, but considering this is an electric rack and a lot of people are, not liking Porsche because they're doing the electric rack, I think it feels pretty good. It's a teeny bit numb on center, but once I got the Coney Yellow shocks installed, it got rid of a teeny bit of the slop, and it's made it a lot better. Number 8 on the things that I love about my S2000 is I love the digital dash. And a lot of people don't like the digital dash because they remember the digital dashes from the 80s. You know, if you look at the C4 Corvette, that digital dash was horrible, you know. But Honda engineered this digital dash to be different. It has a large sweeping tack, just like a Formula One race car, which looks very cool. And I have to say, having the entire tack light up as you're accelerating is very nice. It makes it kind of easier to see what RPM you are. It's not just one little needle going from one side of the tack to the other. It's an entire bar, and it lights up, and you can't miss it, which is very nice. And I also like that the speedometer is digital, and the font is very large, so you can just glance down quickly and you know how fast you're going. It's not, you know, a small, teeny dial you have to read. So I always love that feature of this car. I think it suits the car perfectly well. It suits its character, and I like it. It's awesome. Clock on top, odometer, and the trip. I really like the feature where it shows the odometer and the trip mileage at the same time. Most cars you only get one or the other, so that's very cool. Also has your coolant temperature and your gas. And here's the tack. That moves up and down. Certain years of the S2000 have no traction control and no stability control. And if you haven't guessed by now, this is one of those cars. The 2000 to 2005 Honda S2000s have no traction control, no stability control, which for a pure driver's car, that's what you want. You want something very focused. You know, you don't want stability control cutting in or the traction control cutting in and cutting your power when you're going around a corner. That's no fun. So it makes it a lot of fun, and the car has a lot of grip. So honestly, you know, unless you're being a complete idiot, you know, not having traction control is really not that big a deal. If you know how to drive and you're safe and you know what you're doing and you're, you know, within the limits of yourself as a driver and the car. So it's just nice to have an unfiltered car. I will say, though, as a word of caution, you have to be extremely careful in the rain when you drive this car. And I mean, seriously, you have to be very, very careful. You know, you have to, you know, drive it like a grandma in the rain. Otherwise, you could go around an on-ramp that's wet when it's raining, and you could easily spin off into a ditch. A few years ago, a local guy, you know, it was raining and he was going around an on-ramp and he went around the corner too fast and he hit a semi-truck and he is no longer with us. So you have to be very careful when you drive this car. You know, you have to know how to drive it. It's not a car you just go and fool around. It may be inexpensive now, and it may be that, you know, people are buying it instead of a Honda Civic, but this is not a Honda Civic. This is a high-performance vehicle. Don't let the stock 240, 162 foot-pounds of torque tell you otherwise. Drive-by-wire in the 2006 to 2009 Honda S2000, for example, just feels like an on-off switch. It's like you can't meter out any of the power. It's like you either give it full acceleration or nothing. This is awesome because it's so buttery. You can just give it a little bit, and that's why I think I love the way this car feels so much. Is it just the connection between the throttle and the engine and you, it just makes it feel like you're one with the vehicle, and it's just, it's awesome. It feels amazing. I wish every throttle felt this way. Now, I have a couple of extras. Number 11 on things that I love are the stock HID headlights, and these came out when the car came out in 2000. I have to give Honda major credit, because in 2000, not many cars had HID lights, and for a car that was a little more than $30,000 brand new, that's pretty awesome. And I have to say, they have such a sharp, clean, smooth, crisp cutoff, and they're super bright. They're excellent. I got spoiled rotten. The Honda S2000 has excellent seats. They are very sporty. There's nice bolstering on the sides that holds you in on the corners, and there's also nice flared back for your shoulders. It really holds you in place. They look great, they feel good, and it feels like a proper sports car seat. They are very excellent. I don't like the helmet cutout in these in particular because I'm a little too tall for them, but they're great. That concludes the 10 things that I love about my 2004 Rio Yellow Pearl Honda S2000.